Okay, fine. So we were looking at the psychrometry. The previous class we started up with, and we were looking at some of the important parameters or definitions. And the last definition what we discussed was the specific humidity or absolute humidity or humidity ratio. So let's try to define the next definition, which is called as relative humidity. Relative humidity. So usually this is they call it as RH actually, and the symbol they use to maybe represent it is the phi. Omega for the what we call it as simply the humidity or absolute humidity, and phi for the relative humidity. What it is actually? See, phi, it is the ratio of, see, mass of water vapor in the given volume of your air mixture. Okay. If I try to take the ratio of mass of water vapor, mass of water vapor in a given volume of mixture. So, in a given volume of mixture, that is air mixture or whatever it may be, to, okay, in the denominator, the mass of water vapor in the same volume at if saturated temperature or saturated condition. Okay, at saturated condition, at the same temperature if it is saturated. That is mass of water vapor, okay, water vapor in the same volume, okay, if saturated, that is under saturated condition, under saturated conditions, under saturated condition at the same temperature. So this is the proper definition of your relative humidity. What it is actually, if I try to put it, so if I call this as the ratio of M to mass of same thing under saturated condition. Okay, so if I call this as mass of vapor under saturation, that's it. Just I'm trying to. Now, what is it actually? If I know that I told that you are both air and water behave like a perfect gas. I'll be using this equation, that is PV is equal to MRT, or M is equal to PV by RT. This equation we know. So wherever you have mass, I will write in terms of PV by RT. So if I try to put it actually, this is simply if I put MV actually. MV, mass of that water vapor, and mass of water vapor, in the denominator saturated condition, in the numerator it is under simply the any given condition. Okay, if I try to write it, this will be PV by T divided by RV by T, whole thing divided by, okay, sorry, PV, it is not T, it is V, okay, and this will be PVS into V divided by RV into T. That's it. So if I try to do this, because volume temperature is almost same, they simply cancel out. I am left with only PV by PVS. Okay. So this is the equation what I am going to get. So this is your relative humidity. Okay. So if you try to look at it actually, now I have got two definitions now. The first definition is I have defined it as a mass of water vapor in the given volume of the mixture divided by to the mass of volume vapor or water vapor in the same volume under saturated conditions at the same temperature. From the definition and according to your characteristic gas equation, I ended up with two things. One is now this has become mass of water vapor to mass of water vapor in the saturation. Now the same thing got converted to the partial pressure. It is not total pressure, it is the partial pressure. So I can write the phi from the deduced one. I can write it as is the ratio of partial pressure of water vapor to the partial pressure of water vapor at saturated condition at any given dry bulb. Usually the temperature is usually dry bulb temperature. So the T corresponds to dry bulb temperature. So the T, it is actually dry bulb temperature. It's also called as, see, maybe some of the books they call it as TDB. They call it as TDB, tree temperature of dry bulb. I can write it. So now it is the ratio of, okay, it is the ratio of partial pressure, okay, of water vapor, partial pressure of water vapor to the, okay, to the ratio of, so this is in the numerator. In the denominator, I have the partial pressure of saturated. So partial pressure of saturated of water vapor at saturated condition. At saturated condition at the same temperature. The same temperature. And what is that temperature? So the same temperature is, the temperature is the, so the temperature is your dry bulb temperature. To be very precise, this is your dry bulb temperature. Okay, this is what we are going to, so phi is given by your mass of water vapor to this particular thing and PV by PVS. Okay, now you closely observe, see, if you closely observe this particular thing, so from this actually I can define one more thing. Okay, one more thing. What is that other definition? There is something called as degree of saturation. One more definition which depends on your humidities and both the humidities. Okay, we have one more definition. We call that as ninth one. No? That is called as degree of saturation. Let me define that. Ninth one. Degree of saturation. And usually this is defined by the symbol mu. Okay, what it is actually? See, it is the ratio of mass of water vapor associated with unit mass of dry air. See, if I take 1 kg of dry air, okay, in that what is the mass of water vapor is there? If I take air, what is the amount of water vapor in that 1 kg of air I am going to take, or a mixture what I am going to take? 2 mass of water vapor associated with, or what is the condition for the same dry air under saturated conditions. Very similar to your relative humidity what I have defined, but here I am going to look at per unit mass. There I am not going for the total thing, per unit volume. So relative humidity was with respect to unit volume. But here I am trying to go with respect to unit mass. Okay, I am going to define with respect to unit mass. So mass of water vapor, that is with respect to weight. Okay, I am going to call it as per unit mass, means it becomes almost a weight. Okay, I can write it as, let me write that. So it is the ratio of the mass of water vapor in a unit mass of dry air to the mass of water vapor in the same mass of dry air under saturated condition at the given temperature, and that temperature is your dry bulb temperature. Let me write it. Degree of saturation mu, or I think some books they call this as saturation ratio. Saturation ratio. This is other definition they call. So let me define it. What it is actually? The mu, it is a ratio of mass of water vapor, mass of water vapor, mass of vapor in a unit mass of dry air to mass of water vapor to the mass of water vapor, okay, in the same mass of, in the same, so I am going to consider the same mass of the, so in the same mass of dry air when it is at saturated, okay, when it is saturated or under saturated condition, when it is saturated at the same temperature. So the temperature is your dry bulb temperature at the same temperature. So this is your definition. Okay. Now it is also defined. See, if you closely look at it, actually, this degree of saturation, it is nothing but see mu. It's also defined as specific humidity of air. See, this is your specific humidity. If you look into it, actually, if you closely look into it, it becomes the ratio of your specific humidities. Okay, already we have defined what is specific humidity. It is the mass of water vapor per unit mass of dry air. If you go back, let's go back. Okay, let's go back. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, specific humidity. What is actually mass of water vapor to mass of dry air? So that means it is your omega. Okay, here what it is actually, if you closely observe, mass of water vapor to mass of air. So if you now look at it, here it actually in the numerator, it is the mass of water vapor in a unit mass of dry air. That is, it is the ratio of your specific humidities. Okay, it is the ratio of specific humidity at a given condition to the specific humidity under saturation condition. Are you getting? It is the ratio of actual specific humidity to the specific humidity at saturated conditions for the same dry bulb temperature. That is the other definition of it. Is I can write it as mu is equal to, it is the ratio of the actual specific humidity, actual specific humidity, because that is mass of water vapor to mass of air to specific humidity to the specific humidity at saturated conditions, at saturated condition at the same temperature, at the same temperature. So this is your actual definition of it. What it is actually, to be very precise, mathematical, I can write it as is equal to omega divided by omega under saturation condition. Okay, omega divided by omega under saturation condition. Okay, now what is this omega? What is this omega? What we have defined? If you go back and see, this omega is something but we have defined. If you go back and see what it is actually omega, you have defined omega is equal to 0.622 into PV, that is pressure at the volume, okay, PV divided by PA, okay, PV by PA, what we have defined. If you go back and see, you have defined that as PV by PA. But what is your PA? PA is actually, it is the partial pressure of the dry air, which is the difference of it, okay, which is the difference of it. PV is the pressure of the volume. PA is the pressure of the air. Okay. Now, so here I can write this as PA as the, write that. Okay. So now let me write it as P total pressure is equal to pressure of your vapor plus pressure of the your air actually, or I can write PA is equal to the total pressure minus your vapor pressure. So I can substitute for PA in this equation. So what it will be? 0.66 times 0.622 times P, that is P, the pressure of the air vapor, divided by total pressure minus your pressure of the volume. That means I'm trying to write everything in terms of total pressure and your vapor pressures. So that's all I'm going to. So I'm going to write this actually. So what I'm going to do, I'll just come over here and try to write it here. So this is equal to 0.622, okay, into PV by PT minus PV. Okay, this is under any given condition divided by 0.622 PV under saturation condition divided by P total minus PV under saturation condition. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. Now 0.622 on either side, just simply they cancel out, because numerator and denominator, they simply cancel out. So therefore your mu is equal to, I'll do a little bit of cross multiplication. This will be PV into PT minus PVS, that is denominator will go to the numerator, divided by PVS into PT minus PV. So this is your, what you call it as your mu. Okay, this is your mu. Mu is equal to, this is the thing. If you want, I can further simplify also, I can do that. PV, so this particular thing I can simplify further. What I will do actually, I can take PV outside in the numerator. So just simply mu is equal to, if I take PV by PS, I can write this as, so PV into, so if I take simply the PT outside, simply you take PT outside, so PT also will just cancel out. Same equation, just simplification, that's it. So if I take PT outside, this will become 1 minus PVS by PT, whole thing divided by PVS into PT outside. If I take, this will be 1 minus PV by PT. So this PT just simply cancel out. So I am left with only mu is equal to PV into 1 minus PVS by PT divided by PVS into 1 minus PV by PT. Okay, now what is this PVS? It is the partial pressure. We have to be very careful here. PVS, and PV is fine. So PVS is the partial pressure of the water vapor when it is fully saturated. So I will write this note because this will be very helpful when you are solving the problems. PVS is the partial pressure, partial pressure of the water vapor at, so water vapor when air is fully saturated, that is at saturated condition, at saturated condition. So PVS can be calculated. What does it mean by it actually? That means you have to be very careful here. The PVS can be calculated from the steam tables. Can be calculated. That means we have to take it from the steam tables. Calculated from the steam tables. From the steam tables at corresponding to the dry bulb temperature of the air. Steam tables corresponding to the dry bulb temperature, dry bulb temperature of the air. Are you getting? So this will help you when you are solving the numericals. So where I will get the PVS? PVS I can calculate from the steam tables. Okay, if you're able to calculate this, so you can proceed and you can solve the numericals for that particular given conditions. Are you getting? So specific humidity. Okay, now, so there are certain things we have to be very careful. See, relative humidity and comparison with your specific humidities. Say, whenever you are trying to look into any kind of air conditioning, comfort air conditioning, your relative humidity and specific humidity plays a very, very important role, especially to be very precise in industrial air conditioning. Okay, what is it actually? If I try to look at the relative humidity, it signifies the what is the capacity, absorption capacity of the air. While your, see, at the same time relative humidity, see, if the relative humidity of air is less, okay, if the number is 0.2 or 0.3, it will absorb more moisture. Are you getting? If the relative humidity is less, 0.2 or 0.3, it will absorb more moisture. If the relative humidity is more, it will absorb. Okay, so depending upon, so it's directly proportional. If the humidity of air is less, it will absorb more moisture. If the relative humidity is more, it will absorb less moisture. So this particular conditions, so is very, very important when you are designing your air conditioning. That's one thing you have to always remember. The second condition, see, you have your humidity, specific humidity or then relative humidity mu, relative humidity phi and your humidity ratio or degree of saturation, okay, mu. All these three, see, you can easily see, you can't measure it conveniently. Okay, you can't measure it at whatever the condition given. Simply they give PV, PVS and all. So the value of PV, that is your pressure for your given water vapor, I can obtain only from your measurements. That is from what measurement? One thing, or maybe in the first class I told, all these things are measured at dry bulb temperature or at wet bulb temperature. Okay, your PV is the pressure of the, PV means it's the pressure of the water vapor, which can be obtained from the measurement at wet bulb temperature. Remember this, PV is the value obtained from the measurement at wet bulb temperature, and PVS, as I told, it is the one which is calculated from the steam tables corresponding to air temperature or dry bulb temperature. So these two things you have to always remember in your mind. Okay, let me write that. This is a very, very, two things are very, very important in air conditioning chapters or psychrometry. So important points to consider. Important points. Okay. First one, the relative humidity as compared to specific humidity. So both, see, relative humidity plays a very important role. The relative humidity, that is your phi, plays an important role in your comfort air conditioning. Important role in the comfort air conditioning. Comfort air conditioning. So, or simply you can call it as your psychrometry. Okay, not only comfort air conditioning, even I can put it as industrial air conditioning also. Industrial air conditioning. At both the places, this plays a very important role. And it signifies the relative humidity, relative humidity signifies the absorption capacity of the air, signifies the absorption capacity of the air, absorption capacity of the air. If the relative humidity, if the relative humidity is low or less, okay, less, then it will absorb more moisture. Then it will absorb more moisture, or vice versa. If the number is more, it will absorb less moisture. So that's the meaning of it. So this is a very, very important point. You should always remember when you are designing your air conditioning. That's the first point. The second one, see, all your omega, that is omega, phi and mu, okay, are measured, okay, are measured at, maybe are measured based on your partial pressure of vapor and partial pressure of vapor at saturation condition. Okay, the value of partial pressure at V, that is your vapor, is measured at, okay, is measured at wet bulb temperature, wet bulb temperature. Whereas already we have seen PVS is calculated from steam tables at dry bulb temperature. Okay, that already we have seen. Whereas PVS is calculated from steam tables, at dry bulb temperature. This is how you are supposed to calculate or measure your, maybe your PV or PS, all those things. This is very, very important. Okay. Now we'll move further. Okay. Now, so most of the things, there is something called as enthalpy of moisture, or what is enthalpy? Okay, enthalpy. See, these are the some of the things what we studied actually. So humidity, relative humidity, their relation, all those things. Now enthalpy. So enthalpy means actually enthalpy of this particular air, which is very, very important. If I try to tell enthalpy of the moisture, so what it is actually? It is the sum of enthalpy of the dry air plus enthalpy of the water vapor in that particular dry air. Okay, simply if I try to tell enthalpy of a moisture, Okay, let me define that. This is your 9th one, 10th one. Enthalpy of moisture. Enthalpy of moist air. What it is actually? It is the sum of enthalpy of dry air, enthalpy of dry air, and the enthalpy of water vapor. Enthalpy of water vapor. Enthalpy of water vapor, which is associated with the dry air. Okay, so if I take H as the enthalpy of this particular thing, okay, now how this particular thing came up actually? If you go back and see, this enthalpy depends on one particular law, that is your Gibbs law. See, enthalpy of a moist air depends on Gibbs law. Okay, what it is actually? Simply if I tell, see, what is it actually? Let me write it actually. If H is the enthalpy of at any given point, it is actually HA plus HV. So that's the meaning of it. H is equal to HA plus HV. So that means this is the total enthalpies. If I try to write this in terms of specific enthalpy, this will be MA into HA plus MB into HV. Okay, then what it is actually on the left hand side? So now if I try to divide throughout by mass of air, okay, so this will become H by MA. So if I try to divide it actually, so H by MA, this will become MA into HA divided by MA plus MV by MA into HV, or this will become small h is equal to HA plus what is MV? So already we have defined omega is equal to mass of vapor divided by mass of air. This already we have defined. So this will be omega into HV. Let me, if I call this as equation 1, I'm going to call this as equation 2. So H is equal to HA plus omega into HV. Okay. Now what is this HA? Okay. What is this HA? It is the enthalpy of the air. Enthalpy of the 1 kg, whatever it 1 kg, whatever it means, the specific enthalpy. Enthalpy of the air. We know that H is a function of temperature. I can write it as Cp into T. But what is the T? T is the dry bulb temperature. Are you getting? So enthalpy of the air. So enthalpy of the air, HA is equal to, I can write HA is equal to, so I can write it as Cp into HA is the enthalpy of the your air into your T. Okay, it is actually dry bulb temperature. So TdB. So TdB is nothing but dry bulb temperature, which you already defined. It is the temperature measured by the freely suspended thermometer at any given condition. Okay, what is the value of Cp? See, if anything is not given, Cp of air is, I can take it as 1.005 kilojoules per kg degree Kelvin. Okay, Now what is your enthalpy of, see, if you go back and see, what is your enthalpy of vapor? So enthalpy of vapor, see, if you go back and see, H vapor, that is HV, already we have defined, it is equal to, okay, it is equal to your enthalpy at some condition. What is that? Enthalpy at some condition, that is your HFG plus or Hg. You can call that as Hg instead of HFG. You can call it as Hg. Okay, Hg is the enthalpy of saturated condition at what? Dew point temperature. Okay, that means this is equal to Hg plus Cp of your vapor. Okay, Cp of vapor or saturated vapor, whatever it may be. So let me call that as Cpv or Cps, whatever it may be. Okay, Cp of vapor into, there is a difference in temperature, that is your dry bulb temperature minus your dew point temperature. So T dP is dew point temperature. It is something like superheated condition. That's how it is. Okay. Now Cp, most of the times, if nothing is given, I can take Cp for vapor as, if most of the problem, if nothing is given, I can take this as 1.88, or sometimes they take it as 2 also. Okay, sometimes they take it as 2 also. So if I try to write this particular thing, what this will be? Cp of water, see, Cp of water, see, Cp of water, Hg second, I think many of the time they go with Hg is equal to Cp of water into your dew point temperature plus HFG also they do. So there are n number of ways they do. Either directly they go with this particular thing, or they can go with whatever the way they want. So H is equal to your Cp into your dry bulb temperature plus, okay, if I try to substitute in equation 2, your H is equal to HA is Cp of air into dry bulb temperature plus your omega into Hg plus Cp of vapor, okay, into your dry bulb temperature minus dew point temperature. This is what I am going to get it. So substituting in equation 2, substituting in equation 2 to get H is equal to Cp of air into dry bulb temperature plus omega into Hg, omega into Hg plus Cp of vapor into dry bulb temperature minus dew point temperature. Okay. Now I can open the bracket and I can simplify this. So Cp, see, you have Cp of air, look at this. So I have Cp of air dew point, dry bulb temperature. Here also I have Cp of vapor, your dry bulb temperature. I can combine it with multiply. So I can combine that. I can write it as Ha is equal to Cp of air plus, okay, Cp of omega into Cp of vapor, okay, omega into Cp of vapor into dry bulb temperature plus omega into, okay, Hg minus Cp of vapor into dew point temperature. Okay. Now, if you want, you can combine this. So you can combine, see, this, they try to combine it as this particular thing. Okay. They call that as specific heat of humid air, or humidity specific heat, humid specific heat. I can call this as CPM, which is equal to Cp of air plus omega into Cp of vapor, which they call it as specific heat of humid air or humid specific heat. Humid air, or they call it as, some books they call this as humid specific heat. Humid specific heat. Okay, and usually this CPM is of the order of 1.021 kilojoules per kg degree, 1.02. So per kg, so it's nothing but actually it is the capacity of measuring the moisture, all those things. And what is this H of vapor, Hg? It is the, so Hg at dry bulb temperature. Okay, if H vapor, if I try to go with this particular thing, if I try to go with your dry conditions, and let me substitute this particular thing, so that your H is equal to CPM into dry bulb temperature plus omega into Hg minus Cp of vapor into dew point temperature. If I call this as equation, so this as 3, this as 4, I'm going to call this as 5, and I'm going to call this as 6. Okay, so this is your equation. This is your equation, what we can get it. Now, if you closely observe this particular thing, if you closely observe your H of vapor, see, you have H of vapor and you have H of air. H of vapor is equal to Hc. If I try to directly, if I take maybe with respect to your dry bulb temperature. So if I try to take with respect to simply dry bulb temperature, reference, so if I try to take the reference state of enthalpy for any saturated liquid with a latent heat of 2500 kilojoules per kg, that is the latent heat for any the atmospheric condition. So this whole equation will just simply simplified. See, there is a separate condition. So for this is only for HV. I'm speaking of, this is the equation. What is this equation? Generalized equation. So for a specific condition I'm taking. Okay, regarding the HV. Okay, regarding your HV, I'm speaking of HV. Okay, regarding your HV, if HV is equal to Hg at dry bulb temperature, it is simply Hg. I don't have anything extra. Okay, that means I don't have, see, this is, see, Cp of vapor into, that is in a superheated condition. It is a superheated condition. It's simply saturated. That means it is simply saturated condition. Then what will happen to your HV? Okay, under these condition, what will happen? Your H will become, so therefore your H will be simply Cp of air into dry bulb temperature, Cp of air into dry bulb temperature plus omega into simply Hg. Look at this. Omega into simply Hv is equal to your Hg, that's all. So I will end up with this equation. This is for simply dry saturated conditions. Okay. Now, if you look at it actually, a better approximation. Okay. For this condition, they have found your latent heat. Okay. Your latent heat they have found to be, there is a better approximation by taking the reference state of enthalpy. Okay. Reference state of enthalpy as 0 for a saturated liquid at 0 degrees Celsius. Okay. For saturation degree, HV will become, your Hg will be something like 2500 plus I told your Cp as 1.88 and your Td. So I'm simply going with, so I'm not going with Tdp. So this time I will go with only Tdp, only dry bulb temperature. Okay, so there is a better way, there's a better way they call it as. Okay, so a better approximation, the better approximation. These are the theory part actually. A better approximation, a better approximation. Okay, based on what actually? Okay, a better approximation by taking the reference state of enthalpy. By taking the reference state of enthalpy. Reference enthalpy as 0 for saturated liquid at 0 degrees Celsius. What it is, that means I'm going to take my dew point temperature is equal to 0. Are you getting? So people have tried with air conditioning, people, Carrier, all those people, they have tried with so by taking my dew point temperature, this dew point temperature, if I make it 0, so I'll be able to do a better approximation with the latent heat, with the latent heat value, that is Hg. Okay, with the latent heat, Hg is equal to 2500 kilojoules per kg. If I take into consideration, then so therefore your HV I can write it as, if you go back and see here, HV I can write it as 2500 plus Cp value of vapor is 1.88 into your dry bulb temperature. I'll be able to write it as HV is equal to 2500 plus 1.88 into your dry bulb temperature. And let me call this as equation number 8. So what is your HA? HA is equal to Cp of air, that is 1.005 into TETB. So substituting for HV from equation 8 in equation 2. In equation 2, to get your enthalpy, H is equal to, what is the Cp of air? I can write it as 1.005 into TdV, dry bulb temperature, plus omega into 2500 plus 1.8 into TdB. So then I'm going to call this as equation 9. So this is the enthalpy of your air. Okay, TdB is the dry bulb temperature and the datum state of this. But so now the datum state I'm taking this as 0 degrees Celsius. my dew point is changed. So at any given point, if anyone asks you to calculate the enthalpy of the moisture, straight away I can use this particular formula and I can calculate the enthalpy of that particular maybe that particular moisture.